What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mezco 1/12 Collective Silent Screamers Nosferatu. And so here we have Nosferatu posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. Nosferatu does come with 3 different head sculpts. He does come with this seemingly stoic face that he has on him right now. He does come with a face where he's kind of hiding his teeth, which looks really nice. And then my favorite head is the one where he has his fangs showing, which I think is the best. He also does come with 3 pairs of hands. He comes with a pair of seemingly relaxed grip hands. He comes with a pair of grasping, menacing hands. He comes with a right hand where he's almost beckoning you to come. And then he also does come with a grip left hand. He also does come with a hat which fits on all 3 of his heads, which I do like that. He comes with a lantern, which does fit in his grip hand really nicely. He also does come with a set of keys, which those look really nice in any of his hands. He also does come with 6 different rats, which they all look really nice. I love the characteristics on all the rats. He, of course, does come with his coffin, which has a lot of nice little details on it. I love the wood graining and paintwork that went into it. Finally, we do get a Nosferatu display stand, which is a Mezco standard, and of course, we do get the flight arm for Nosferatu. Other than that, he doesn't really come with anything else, so let's actually move on to his details. And so here we have a closer look at Nosferatu, and my camera is actually improving the colors on this figure. He's not going to be as bright as he appears in the camera. That's just how my settings have it, and he's a really, I want to say gorgeous, but gorgeous isn't quite the word to say with Nosferatu. They did a really good job sculpting him. I'm going to leave it at that. You can see his fangs coming out, well, not really his fangs, but his teeth coming out of his mouth right there. He has those really dark beady eyes, which you can only see the reflection of the light, so that looks really nice. And I love the paintwork around his eyes. You can see he does have some veiny forehead, right here. Ears look really nice. Now, it's not 100% accurate to the Nosferatu from the movie. He looked a little more human in the movie, and then he also had sideburns, which this figure obviously does not have any sideburns, but they did a really good job just sculpting the head on this figure. It looks really, really nice. I do like it. I especially love the shape of his head. It's so irregular. It makes him even more creepier, and the fact that they even gave him this little hunch, it's just so unsettling is the word I would use to describe Nosferatu. Taking a look at his clothing, you can see it is tattered right here at the sleeves, and I do like that the sleeves aren't the same. Like, the tattering on the left side is not the same as the tattering on the right side, so that's something I really do like. And they did actually kind of dirty up the tatters, which looks really nice. You can see some, I'm guessing some paint on it. Whatever they did, it does look really nice. On the back, you can see more tatters on his tunic right here. That looks really nice. It's all in shambles. What do you expect from an undead vampire? I really like the way these clasps are done. The way they did it is that they're all plastic going through the shirt, so you can't really take this shirt off. But it does look nice, and it does bring a lot into the figure. He, of course, does have a scarf which does go around his neck. I'm not even going to bother messing with that scarf, because chances are if I take that scarf off, I'm never going to be able to put it back. But the scarf is removable. If you really want to remove it, you can. Be my guest. Let's take a moment to talk about his hands really fast, because these are really creepy looking hands, and I love the way they look. You can see all the veins right here on his hand, just how dead it looks. His fingernails are incredibly long, and it looks like the skin on his hand is dying. Mezco has done a phenomenal job with that, and all that detail also goes up to his forearm. I don't know about his bicep, though. That might be just a standard bicep, but that's neither here nor there. He is wearing some stockings right here. It's not really pants, but it's tights. He's wearing tights right here, which is accurate to how he looked in the movie. So it's kind of like an amalgamation of the movie and posters. Then we go on to his shoes, and his shoes just look really nice. They look old and leathery. You can see they do have a seam line paint or sculpted right here. The paint on these shoes are just really well done. I just love how they look. They look like he's been wearing them for centuries, and it's just done really well. Mezco has knocked it out of the park, especially with the way they designed his shoes. Just a really nice looking figure, and I really like the way he looks. So with that out of the way, we've run through his details. So let's actually get Nosferatu compared to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Nosferatu posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Nosferatu posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And finally, here we do have Nosferatu posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually run through his articulation really fast. I do like the articulation scheme on Nosferatu. They did some really nice things here. If we take his head off really fast, you can see that his head is on an offset, so it is protruding at an angle. But the way his head connects into the torso, he actually does look down really nicely. I do like that. He can look up about that far. He can tilt his head side to side, and that just looks so creepy. I like it. It does, of course, rotate, but at an angle, and that's probably the only bit of gripe I have with the way the head works, is that you can't really have him look side to side. I guess you can if you mess with it, but you can see how that offset does make it a little tricky to pose him. It doesn't feel like he has a butterfly joint. It feels like it's just a standard ball hinge swivel, which does go out to about that far, which is pretty good for our figure. His arm does go up to about that far before the fabric starts catching, so you want to be careful for that. Both arms do go out that far, but again, you want to be careful because the fabric will stretch and you don't want to wear that out too much. He doesn't have a bicep swivel, unfortunately, but he does have a bend at the elbow, which gives us a little better than 90 degrees. He, of course, does have rotation at that elbow, so really do like that. He has a ball hinge here at the wrist, which does move up and down. You can move that to the side, so we have an in and out hinge, and then, of course, it does swivel on that peg, so really nice there. I want to say he has two joints in the torso. We have an upper joint and a lower joint. Upper joint moves back about that far, comes forward only to about that far, and we get some really slight pivot, but it does rotate really nicely, so I do like that. Lower torso joint goes back about that far, so combining the two, he leans back that far. Combining the two going forward, he goes forward. Ooh, really nice. I love that bend right there. So he does have some pretty decent articulation. I guess you gotta be careful where your hand is, because I'm noticing as I was trying to move his joint, I was putting pressure on his tunic, and that was limiting some articulation. So be aware of how you have your hand posed when posing him. But we do get some swivel right there as well, if I didn't mention it. His legs, how far forward do they go? They go forward a decent amount. I do like that. Going back, they go back to about that far, which is, I guess, acceptable. Going out to the side, no problem. You can have Nosferatu throwing out side kicks. That is incredible for a vampire. He does have a thigh swivel up high, which works really nicely. Double bend in the knee going up all the way. Really do like that. We don't have any swivel here at the hinge. Instead, we do have a swivel here at the boot. And I believe that's because it is a ball joint, because it does pivot side to side. Goes back and forward. Really nice, but it's kind of limited. It's going back to the old Mezco ball hinges, which they really didn't move all too well, but it moves just enough. So with his articulation out of the way, I think Nosferatu here is a really nicely articulated figure. So what are my final thoughts? Well, let's actually move on to my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Mezco exclusive 1/12 Collective Nosferatu pose for my final thoughts. And overall, I think Nosferatu here is a really gorgeous piece to own. He looks really nice. It's obvious that Mezco did take the time and effort to sculpt a really beautiful piece here. I do say beautiful, but he's kind of hideous looking, and that's kind of the charm of this figure. I really do like the accessories he comes with. After watching the movie, I really don't think there's more that he could have come with. Now, he's not 100% based on the movie. I do want to stress that out. There are some inconsistencies with the movie versus the poster, which it's obvious that this figure is based more on the poster than the actual actor, which I'm perfectly okay with because the poster is scary and Nosferatu here is supposed to be a scary creature of the night. If you are looking to pick up your very own Nosferatu, unfortunately Mezco did sell out of the initial Nosferatu's wave. I believe he did go on pre-order and then he sold out within 2 hours. But thankfully Mezco did put up more pre-orders that are available right now, although you will be put on a wait list, which it's better than nothing. If you can get through on the wait list, you're really going to enjoy this figure. Now, I'm personally not one for all the swag that you get, and I really don't like the tin that he came in. I would have preferred a more creepy, classic collector's box for a Nosferatu, but those are just personal gripes. Having all that said, is this figure worth $110? I honestly don't think so. If he was worth $80, he'd be an easier pill to swallow, but they did throw in a lot of nice things with him, so I guess it does justify the $110. If you were lucky enough to pick up the first issue of Nosferatu, you're going to really enjoy it. If you are on the wait list or have it pre-ordered and it ships in November, just be patient. It's a really nice figure that you will want to wait for, and I guarantee you will love every moment of it. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other Mezco videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.